Good morning, good morning, good morning! It's been a minute. We've had quite a month. We've been putting out videos, well, Kendall's been putting out videos from stuff that happened a while ago because I had flu, then I got bit by a tick and got Lyme disease. Then we had a vacation, which was really nice because no one was sick. We all made it. It was a really nice, so I don't have a lot to complain about. But then on the way back from vacation, we got COVID on the plane, so it's been a minute since we've been out here. I think this is the second day of actual work that I've done. But
in about a month?
In about a month. Yeah, I think 5 weeks actually. It might be over a month. But yeah, we're back at it. We've got some fun stuff that we're doing. We aren't working on the house at the moment, partially because we just didn't know what the weather was going to do or what our health was going to do. And so we kind of started on like, I want to say knick-knack projects, but that's not the right word. What is the right word?
Various and sundry projects?
Various and sundry? Is that a word? Sundry?
Uh-huh.
I don't know if I've ever heard that word. Ooh, that oak tree's coming back. Look at that. We gotta protect this thing.
It's not very straight.
No, but I think that'll look, it'll look cool. Yeah.
That would be nice to have a big oak tree right here.
It really would. You know, in about 30 years.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we are working on our organic swimming pool. Getting all that ready. Luke has been working on getting the bulldozer working. And I don't know what that plant is with the red stalk.
The red one? Okay, if anybody knows what this plant is...
Oh, we can look it up on Virginia Tech.
It's got this bright red... It reminds me of rhubarb.
Oh, yeah.
Is that a dragonfly?
Which one? Yeah.
Look at that. So we're going to take you on a tour.
Yeah, we're going to show you kind of what we've been working on, give you a little update, and kind of show you what else we got going on. The moment, we've been working on our organic swimming pool, which is, it's essentially, I've seen them on YouTube. I'll put a link in the description below to the channel that I've been following to show me how to do this. But essentially what you do is it's a swimming pool, but it has like a growing area around it where you can grow, you know, lemongrass and filter plants. And then what you do is you use like French drain pipe or pipe with holes in it. And you essentially pull water from the middle, pump it through the pipes into the filter medium, and the water flows up through the filtration plants and over like a little berm to essentially filter the water constantly. And you use something called an air stone. And so you're not using a water pump, so there's no electricity and water mixing, but you're using an air stone, which runs off a very low voltage air compressor and creates bubbles that will flow up. I'll show you how we build it all, or I'll just link in the description below on the video I'm following to build it. Then you will essentially, that creates flow, which will pull water through. It's very gentle on any wildlife that goes through the system. Apparently an adult frog can actually go through the entire system and not have any problems. So any frogs or wildlife or anything like that. The other thing is the water's constantly moving, so mosquitoes will not breed in our water. But it's going to provide a water source for our bees, which I'll show you in a minute. It's going to provide a swimming hole for us, so in the summer we can, you know, jump in and cool off. Yeah, there's just a lot of benefits to having it, and we finally have a little bit of like time where we can work on side projects. So that's what I've been doing here.
This was all completely overgrown with vegetation.
Yeah, this was originally a pond. I mean, this is the bottom. This is the clay bottom, what you're seeing right here. And I took out probably this much dirt out of it and moved it all to the sides. You can see it's up on the sides right now. I just needed a quick place to put it. but we're going to come through with the bulldozer and essentially push all that back out, because a lot of it is really, really rich and good soil. And so we're going to use it in the garden. We're going to use it around the banks. So the banks, hopefully, we're going to smooth them out real nice so we can actually mow around the pond. And then it will go straight into the growing area. And so the grass will kind of help filter all of that. But yeah, you can see we put in our pipe that goes under the dam. I'm building up. Hopefully we'll get to the point where we can actually drain the rest of it. I dug just a little too deep to hit the bottom, and the dam was at its lowest point that it could possibly get to, because on the other side of the dam it's actually a little below ground level, but all of that will wear away over time and it'll be okay. But so I've got to add just a little bit of clay back into the bottom to get this level back up. Then we're going to drive over it a bunch, compress the clay, and once that compressed clay gets wet, it'll actually hold water. As you can see, this water, it rained. This whole thing was completely dry. I had it all scraped out, everything was good, and then it rained, and we gained about 1.5 feet of water, which is unfortunate, but it obviously holds water, which is good news. And then, yeah, so soon we will be able to fill this up and have a swimming pool that will be fresh water, no chemicals, with a filtration system that uses the plant life, and the filtration system will actually allow wildlife to pass through it, which is really nice. So, yeah. The idea is you essentially have your growing area and then a swimming area. So your growing area you fill with rocks, just like gravel, and you allow like lemongrass and things like that to grow in that. And then you make a little bump, and then it comes down into your swimming area. So your swimming area ideally would not grow anything ever, which is the idea, which is the other reason we have a hard clay bottom, because it shouldn't grow anything. The other thing is it'll be about 6 feet deep. And so theoretically, if water is more than like about 6 feet deep, plant life, there's not enough sunlight that gets through, so plant life can't grow. So hopefully that'll be the case. I read that on some thing somewhere. I can't remember, but I did. Yeah, that's what we got going on.
Ship's got zoomies.
I keep throwing the stick in there to see about how deep it is. Good boy.
Well, considering Shep's belly is about, what, 1 foot to 16 inches?
Okay. Looks like, yeah, one of our hives looks fine. The other hive, it looks like, may have succumbed to the heat, or they may have swarmed. I don't know. They're all out and about right now. This is like prime harvesting time. So there's not a lot of in and out. They send all their ladies out, go to do everything they need to do. This was always the stronger hive anyway. The other hive, we got it and it was weak, and we tried to like bolster it, and we gave them meds and food and all the things to hope it would do okay, but it did not. So it is what it is. We'll have to check. And maybe, oh, there's a lady who just came in with a bunch of pollen. Anyway, yeah, we primarily got the bees as pollinators. We don't really harvest honey from them. We basically just keep the hive healthy and allow them to pollinate. We wanted them for our garden and for our orchard. So that's their primary job here. Eventually, we may end up harvesting honey from them, but at the moment I'm just kind of letting them keep all the honey, not taking anything, and letting them do their thing. The nice thing is, because we have 2 hives, we can actually, this hive is healthy enough and big enough that we could actually split it, and they'll grow another queen, and we'll have 2 hives again. So it's just something we need to do. But it's
another project.
Another project. Yeah. Yeah, our bees are our pollinators. Or as I like to call them, my 50,000 head of livestock. This is our orchard. We had a nice sloping south-facing hill here. So we went ahead and dug some swales. and made some water catchment to also improve the watershed coming off of it. It actually catches in the swales and it's good to go. We lost a lot of our trees in the big snowpocalypse that Texas had. We got like, what, a foot of snow or something like that, and it killed everything. We lost a lot of them. A lot of them came back this year. We thought we had lost like 99% of them, but quite a few came back. So we probably lost about half of them. But yeah,
Most of our apple trees died.
Yeah, most of the apple trees died, but we've got pear trees, we've got jujube, we've got peach, nectarine, and then that real big one you see right there, not the real big one, but the big bushy one, that's actually a honey locust. Honey locust or black locust?
Black locust.
It's a black locust, which is a nitrogen fixer. So its whole purpose of being there is to improve the trees around it.
As well as the one right there, I believe it is a catalpa. That's also a nitrogen fixer.
Yeah, so they don't necessarily produce fruit, but they're really beneficial for the trees around them. And we mixed and matched. We didn't monocrop, where there's a whole bunch of different species of trees, which makes it more fun, and it's healthier for the soil. All right, well, let's take a look at the solar panels. I'll let you know what's going on with those. We we're given a very good deal on some overrun products from a commercial job and a commercial installation. So we have 14 frameless solar panels that are high yield. Well, what's the name of the company? Iron Ridge. So we ordered Iron Ridge mounting system for our solar panels, which I'm a huge fan of Iron Ridge. Very easy to set up. However, these are the mounting brackets for the frameless system. Notice there's a bolt missing. Apparently the bolts are sold separately and are impossible to get right now due to supply chain issues. So I only need about 25 of them, 40 of them. I think I need like 10 packs of 4. So yeah, I need 40 of them. But in order for me to order them, I have to buy 100 bags of them, which is 400. So if anybody needs frameless mounting hardware and can't get them, let me know. Maybe we'll go halvesies on it. So yeah, we're working on a solution for that. I found a couple of different options that are alternative, but I don't really like them. The other solution is to just make our own hardware, which we may end up doing if we can't get them in time. But that'll actually increase our solar output. I want to say it's going to be a 6 kilowatt system that will be pumping out at 600 volts, which is a lot of power. But it's going to make everything charge faster. It's going to make everything just operate smoother. So we're still waiting on those parts. Once we get those in, we'll do that installation and we'll see. These are actually the rails for them. They're 14-foot rails. They look exactly like those rails. They're just aluminum rails, but the way that they design them is just brilliant. Check out Iron Ridge mounts if you're interested in solar. I've had really, really good luck with them. We also did flooring. So flooring / ceiling is right here. Because as you can see, we still don't have a roof. It's just foam sitting up there right now. But what we're gonna do is mill these up, plane them, chamfer the edges, and then nail them down just like you would flooring. And they'll be the ceiling of the garage or the flooring if you're on top of the garage. They're 1-inch thick pine. We're letting them air dry first for a while, and then we're going to actually seal them. We'll put them in somewhat wet, but for the most part, they'll be pretty dry. Until we get our solar kiln up and running, this is our solution. So they've been stickered and stacked. They've got tons of airflow. They're out of the sun. And thus far, we're seeing them. They've lost a considerable amount of weight. It's kind of wild how heavy they were and how heavy they are now. But yeah, like I said, we'll plane them down on one side, and then lay the plain side down because that side you'll see, and then we'll put the foam on top of the flooring, and then we'll put down a waterproof barrier so we can have a living roof. Yeah, that's that. I would show you. Oh, we got our Starlink set up. Can I show off the Starlink? Come here. If you look right up there, up on top of the peak of our roof, there's a little square satellite. At the moment, there's an oak tree blocking its way to the northern sky completely. So that oak tree needed to come down anyway. It lost a branch and didn't really recover, so it started to die on one side. And eventually, it's going to start to lean and possibly fall on the house, which it's not like it would hurt the house, but it could break a window or something. So we're going to take that tree down, which will help Starlink hopefully get faster internet. We've been very happy with it. Going from no internet to Starlink is fantastic. Highly recommend. 10 out of 10. Yeah, but other than that, we're just going to... What's that? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, our wall. Our wall is currently at 9 feet, which is about 1 foot above this break here. And we're going to 14.5 feet.
So that should be one more day of ramming.
Yeah, one more day of ramming, and we should be able to finish out this wall. And then it's very likely we're actually going to strip the forms and we're going to look at them. We may end up refacing these forms. We'll have to see. Yeah, but then, so once this south wall is done, this is south for, I mean, I guess you guys would have no reason to know that. This is the south side. That's the north side with no walls. Once this wall is done, we're actually going to transition all the formwork and start on the north wall. And we're going to do the north wall all the way around, do the west wall, and then finish on the south on the other side of this. Because on the other side of this is a door, like a small man door. On the other side of this is going to be a full-size like roll-up or some kind of large to get equipment in and out. So it'll be 14 feet high by 10 or 11 feet across. So it's a big door. Yeah. What's up, buddy?
How are you gonna make a door that has just that entrance and something above it when there's only those?
That's a really good question. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put in a door here and then a window here next to the door.
It's called a side light.
Side light. Mm-hmm. And what that'll do is actually allow light in, and it'll shine all the way against this wall all the way down and allow fresh light, like good natural light in. And then above the door, so right about here, we will do one of two things. Either we can put in another window. We probably won't do that because we don't want south-facing windows, right? Because that allows too much sunlight in. So we want a little bit of light, but not a ton of light. So what we'll probably do is just frame that in with a wall similar to what's over there. We'll frame it in and then we'll cover it.
And then eventually over there, instead of having that metal roof, we'll have stairs that go up to the loft and the living roof.
Yep. Yeah, and that will, and also, Dad?
Yeah?
What's the whole point of living roofs?
What's the whole point of living roofs?
Yeah.
Well, they do a couple of things. One, they help insulate. So they will actually provide insulation for us. Even though we'll have foam underneath the soil acts as a barrier from heat. So it'll help keep the house cool without the need for air conditioning. The other thing is, it's actually really, really good for the environment around, because when you get rid of green grass and you put in a metal roof, that increases the overall heat around your house. But if you put a living roof, it keeps the temperature the same that it would be if there was just grass on the ground. The other thing is it leaves room for pollinators to be able, like our bees and stuff, to be able to come in and have a place to pollinate.
Will we leave a little hatch open for them so they can actually come in?
No. The roof will be just open.
Oh.
Unless we put a greenhouse up there.
Yeah, if we put a greenhouse up there. But the other thing it will do is allow us to do raised bed garden on the roof, and then the deer can't eat our vegetables. And the hogs can't eat our vegetables.
Yeah, they'll have to come inside, climb up the stairs, which they actually can't do.
The birds could probably eat our fruits and veggies.
Yep, the birds could get to it, but birds you're going to deal with either way. And we may end up putting a full-size greenhouse up there, which would be nice. Dad? Yes.
We could just put a bird feeder instead. So they would just go to get that instead.
Yeah. The other option, what we will likely end up doing, is encouraging hawks to hang out So when we get mice and things like that, we'll leave them out for the hawks.
Except our chickens then will be in danger.
Oh, that's what a goose is for. Or the chickens will be in the chicken tractors.
Well, if we do chicken netting, if we do the poultry netting, anyway, that's a discussion for another time.
There's a couple of ways to deal with birds. One of them is to have hawks or other birds around.
Or scarecrows.
Or scarecrows.
Not actual people.
Why not? You want to just live up on the roof and scare away all the birds?
I'm good, thanks.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway.
I would be glad to do that.
Oh,
Do you have
oh.
to have a flat roof, or can you slant it if you're living? If you're adding a living
You can
room?
slant a living roof up to 14 degrees without the need for additional stabilization. So they make, they essentially look like a bunch of, like, picture 2-liter bottles of soda, but imagine if you stacked a whole bunch of them together and stuck them all together on a roof and then filled those with soil and the gaps between them with soil. It stops the soil from running off the roof. Anything above 14 degrees, which is a 3-inch rise for every 12 inches of run, it will, anything deeper than that. So our roof, guess what it is?
A living roof, is it?
It's 14 degrees. The slant of our roof is exactly 14 degrees. And we did that on purpose. So, but our roof on our garage has a 2-degree slant because we want to be able to walk around
Wait, it
up there.
has a slant?
Yep, it does.
I did not know that.
Yep. And
Yeah,
so we
this,
actually want
this
to...
corner over here is actually higher than that back corner back there.
Oh, so it slants like that.
Uh-huh. It
Well, it
slants
slants this way
diagonal.
and that way. The whole thing slants. So there's 2 slants. To exaggerate it, it would be like this and like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it all leads to one drain on the other side. So we'll be able to do a living roof up there, and then we'll have the option to do a living roof on our main house and our shop. So, yes, sir.
I'm willing to be a scarecrow to run around and scare birds.
Okay.
I'm willing to do that.
That's good. We'll probably need that.
Let's
Anyway,
scare some birds.
so yeah, we're gonna keep working on the pond. Luke's getting the D5. We're hoping to. It looks like it might actually rain just a little bit today. That might be nice. But yeah, we're hoping to get all that done, and then it's pretty much what we've been working on when we're not sick at home. Thanks for joining our adventure.
Thanks for joining our adventure.
Thanks for joining our adventure.
Thanks for joining our adventure.